This is a Ross Prough from Greenfield, Illinois. I'm visiting the Belleville Research Station of the Southern Illinois University at Carbondale. And we've been down here with our Soybean Association on a research tour. And here it is on Thursday, I believe about the 17th of July. And we're just seeing beans that are just coming out of the ground. Now, these are not double crop beans. The ground has been so wet that they've just been able to get them in. As we pan around over the research farm here, there's another patch of beans on down there that aren't very big either, and off in the background there's some corn in weed research, but they do some plant breeding and quite a bit of research here, and these have not been planted very long. At some beans that's a little more normal what you would expect to see this time of year. They're about knee high. These are Asgrow. I'm not sure if they're Roundup Ready or conventional bean, but they're pretty clean and up and growing. They are in 30-inch rows, and there's a few weeds coming in them. And as you look down the row, pan in on it there. But for the most part, they're pretty clean. We swing over here to the other side of the road, and they've been doing some mare's tail experiments here. They've let the weeds get up so high, and then they burn it down, and they're analyzing what weed program will work the best to control weeds when they get bigger. It's been a real problem here this spring with all the wet weather that we've had. Kind of an interesting experiment. This was a mare's tail weed, and as you can see here at the weed where I'm looking right down the row, this was how thick the weeds were. They were probably 2 foot tall when they sprayed them with various chemicals, and they got a pretty good burn down with the various chemicals that they used. But now we're beginning to see the water hemp coming back in, and these have not been treated since. So even though you knock the weeds down with Roundup, why, this is what happens when they come back. So this is what we're facing in our field. Monday morning, July 20th. This is Ross Prough from Greenfield, Illinois. We are continuing our report. We started out our report last week from research fields at Belleville, Illinois, on our Illinois Soybean Research Tour. And today I'm looking at my beans. These were planted the 25th of May. I still haven't gotten for sure which variety is where, but they are FS number, and you can barely see my dog laying down in the beans. He's mashing a few down, but as we zoom in on the plants, we've got blooms are coming, and so they are really taking off here for the 20th of July. We've got a lot of time on these beans yet to put some grain in them. Really looking good. They're clean. Our crop specialist was out this morning looking at them, and he said these are some of the bigger beans he's seen in the area. Of course, a lot of beans went in late this year, and these were planted in May, so that does make a difference. But they are off to a good start, and I'm 6'2", and they're knee-high on me, so I'm well pleased with the way they are planted the 15th of May, and it is now tousled out and pollinating. The silks are out, and it's coming right along, so looks pretty good. Last week we had about 4.5 inches of rain in a couple hours' time. It was a heavy downpour, had a lot of runoff, and but the crops seemed to not be adversely affected by it. Probably had some erosion that we're not aware of, but we'll see when we go to harvest. No-till beans and corn stalks. They just had to wait on these till they could get big enough to come up. So the ground got dry enough that they could go in and plant them without mudding them in. They look good. They're off to a good start. This is a neighbor's field of corn right across the road from my house that we've been watching all year long. As you can see, as we zoom in on the ears here, haven't pulled any ears to check for pollination, but there's some awfully nice big ears in there, so it's going to be awfully good corn. Crops in our area still continue to look pretty good, even though we did have the heavy rain last week. Little crops are coming, little beans are coming along, growing very well, and small corn too. So, reporting from Greenfield, Illinois, this is Ross Prough.